Care what you think of me. I've got to be who I've got to be. And I hope someday you make it through. And you learn to be you. Yeah, you learn to be you.
I don't want you to feel like you gotta do it. It's more constructive if honestly you wanna do it. I wanna inspire desire for a higher you. I can't do it if inside I lie to you. They require you not to think but fail. Drink until you think it's real. I like to stink and kill. Got like it to try it to cheat and bail. A complete media plan that sneaks and steals. We want kids to do as they told, but do we rob them of ability to think on their own? Do we condone cultures of innovators or imitators? Do we approach them as coach or a player hater? Do we cater to behavior that is imitated when somebody thinks outside the box? Are we intimidated? We've been created before more than ever stated. Man, public opinion is overrated.
I don't care what you think of me. I've got to be who I've got to be. You I want to be. I hope someday you make it through. And you learn to be you. Yeah, you learn to be you. 'Cause I don't think that you really see that what makes me is inside of me. And I hope someday you make it through. And you learn to be you. Yeah, you learn to be you.
people always want you to be
Who they want you to be.
when they want you to be who they want you to be. People always want you to be where they want you to be when they want you to be who they want you to be. People always 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 want you to be.
I don't care what they think.
People always want you to be.
I've got to be you, but won't you? Yeah.
Someday you make it through.
Oh, you'll make it through.
Yeah, you learn to be
You got to be you.
I don't think that you really see.
I don't really think
That what makes me is inside of me.
whoa, it's all inside of me.
Someday you make it through.
Oh, and you got to be you. Yeah, you got to be you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're live in the mix with Unity's official Indigenous DJ,
Check it out. Let's go.
MC1.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Turn up the heat. Unity's virtual conference mix.
It's your mama's favorite DJ,
You can call me.
MC1.
Thank you, MC1. We always appreciate your great energy, and we miss all of those unity dances.
Yeah, for sure.
For those who are joining us, for those who joined us yesterday, thank you so much for bearing with us. It's our first time doing something like this, and we feel like newscasters. And there were some technical hiccups, but we worked through it.
Today's a new day. By the way, happy birthday, Unity, and thank you to our founder, J.R. Cook, for creating this amazing organization.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our second day of the Unity Midyear Conference. I hope you enjoyed the first full day of the virtual fun as we come together as Unity. Join me in welcoming my fellow co-president, Scotty Miller from the Swinomish Tribe of Washington.
Thank you. And before I start with that, I'm going to say, do you guys want to start with a little morning stretch? For me, it's 10 a.m. on the West Coast. I'm tired. So let's stretch it out, you guys. Okay, you want to lead the first one?
Yeah, let's just...
We have to put our mics down for this,
okay.
But you guys can still be able to hear us, I hope.
We can go down and just spread our legs and touch our toes if you can. Just hold it for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back up. Yeah. And raise your arms to the sky as high as you can.
Roll it out with my shoulders.
Roll it out like how you got your vaccine.
Yeah.
Roll it out.
Everybody make sure to get vaccinated if you can, Moderna, sponsored by Dolly Parton. Don't forget, wear your mask, social distance whenever you can, everyone. Wash your hands. After a little morning stretch, okay. It's my pleasure to welcome you again. If you're just joining today, welcome. The National Unity Council Executive Committee is excited to be in person at our National Unity headquarters here in beautiful Mesa, Arizona. We look forward to another day of unity. The Executive Committee has been busy for the last 2 days preparing for today and getting ready for our 2021 National Unity Conference in Dallas, Texas. Now to start off our day, please join me in welcoming our Great Plains Regional Representative Elijah Landon of the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara tribes from North Dakota to offer a special prayer.
Everybody please stand and bow your heads. Wedatska ata wakrana nod atna neshu neshanu dichidak wit den sagadij wina doch naniwo shuk tananasist tanach gabaj wetnak steyu nawa.
Now we have the honor to have with us Shote Tweeter from the Mandan Hidatsa Arikara tribe from North Dakota to provide a drum blessing song.
Ishtango. Hi, my name is Abby Billy, and I am a member of the Future Indigenous Leaders of South Florida. a new forming independent youth council. Members can consist of Seminole, Miccosukee tribal members and their descendants. We also welcome other Indigenous youth throughout South Florida. The future Indigenous leaders of South Florida is striving to be an affiliated youth council within the Unity Network. But due to the COVID outbreak, the progression of this reality had to come to a halting stop. We would love to thank the Unity organization and the Unity Peer Guides for giving us this opportunity to share a part of our culture. Now, with the help of some of my members, I will be telling you the story of how the raccoon got its mask. Now, in the Seminole language, raccoon is called shawi for the way that they handle things with their hands and how they wash their food before they eat. The Creator had finished making the earth. He made the trees, the rocks, the swamps, everything in order for the wildlife to persevere. But he felt that something was wrong. He said,
"But there's something missing."
the earth needed activity. It needed something that breathes air. And so he created all of these little creatures. Possums, rabbits, fox, bears, snakes. He thought,
"Well, this is really nice."
after he started playing with the animals and having some fun with them, he said,
The earth is still wet. It needs several days to dry.
so he made this wonderful looking mountain that was very high. So he put all of the animals up on top of it and told each animal,
You all stay here on this mountain. It is still wet. It's going to take several days to dry, so I'll be back pretty soon.
the Creator disappeared, and all the animals were on top of the mountain sitting there. They were getting a little bit bored because they were on top of a mountain and there was really no place to go. They had food and water, so they were doing okay. Everybody was fine. Except the raccoon, Shawi. He goes,
Ugh, I'm so bored. I just want to go down there.
The snake looks over at him and says,
No, Shawi, we're not allowed. Not till the Creator tells us to.
So Shawi got mad at the fact that nobody would let him go down, nor nobody would go with him down to the valley. So Shawi devised a plan to go at night and sneak down the mountain, go into the valleys, and go run around. And that's what he did. He went way down into the valleys, into the rivers and streams, and where there was a lot of mud. So much mud that he played in it all through the night. Finally, he saw the sun coming up, and he decided to run back up the mountain just in case if the Creator came by. And he was right. The Creator got up to the mountains, looked around, and once he got there, he saw these little footprints. He goes,
Somebody has been moving around the mountain here. I see footprints.
He got there and goes,
Who disobeyed my orders? I told y'all to stay on the mountain.
All the creatures were looking scared, but they all knew who it was. He once said it again.
Who went down the mountain without my permission? I told you to stay on top of the mountain.
And Shawi went up to him and said,
I'm so sorry, Creator. I didn't mean to.
It's okay, Shawi. I know that it was you, but why did you disobey me?
I didn't mean to, Creator. I just got bored.
Well, old Shawi, he was crying so hard, he didn't pay attention to his dirty paws and the black mud all over it. He reached up and rubbed his eyes with his dirty paws, and the mud dried onto his eyes and left a mask on his face. And to this day, from that point on, the raccoon has a mask on its face.
Now we have our Unity Southeast Regional Representative, Kaden McGee, joining us via Zoom from the Porch Band Creek Indians of Alabama to conduct an energizer.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Caden McGee. I am from the Port Spanish Creek Indians tribe down in Alabama. And so the energizer I have for y'all today, okay. I would like everyone to go around wherever you're at, the first letter of your name, and find an object that starts with that letter. And if you will, comment it in the chat and I'll read off a couple of them. So the first letter of my name is a K, so I have to go find something that starts with a letter K. And I actually have my keychain over there. So I have my keychain. What all did y'all find? Go to the chat, read some of them. Someone found a cat, an amethyst stone, a bottle, a brush. And good morning, Brittany. Socks. A notebook. A TV. Jar of seeds. Okay. Like that everyone's getting up, moving around, trying to find things. A teapot, a magnet, phone, tape. Okay, so appreciate y'all for having me on there. Sorry I couldn't make it out to be there in person with the rest of my EC, and I'll turn it back over to you, Scotty.
Thank you so much, Caden. Thank you so much, Caden. We miss you. We hope to see you in Dallas. You want anything for Caden? Any special message?
We miss you and I wish you could be here.
Well, yeah, hope to see you soon. Next, we have a very special message from a very special person, our Unity founder, J.R. Cook.
You out there? 1 2 1 2. Away. Jaje Wite, Marcus, otherwise known as MC1. Otherwise known as MC Who. Whatever. Right now, we about to get things started. Virtual. Midyear. Going down with a sit-down interview with the founder, J.R. Cook. You ready? Get your popcorn. Let's go. Hello, JR.
Hi, Marcus.
I want to imagine what it was like for J.R. Cook walking around, minding his own business, living his life. A light bulb comes on that becomes Unity. How did that light bulb happen?
Well, I'm of Indian heritage in Cherokee, and worked with Edward down at Weatherford and saw a lot of talent going to waste. I think that's what triggered.
So if I said the Eagles, do you know who those were?
Well, Mary Kim was an Eagle.
What were they?
Still is.
Is he?
Well, I think of the used eagle to signify being the best. And we did have a basketball team called the Eagle People.
I heard you guys used to put it on them.
Oh, some. We gotta put on us sometimes.
Yeah. Can you believe that it's been 45 years since Unity was founded?
It's hard to believe.
I heard that less than 100 people were at the first Unity conference in the 70s. Is that true?
Maybe the first conference was in Oklahoma City. And the second year was at the Philmont Scout Ranch in Simon, New Mexico, and some of the students stayed in tents.
What? Whoa. Oh man, there's no air conditioning in a tent.
No.
Fast forward with me now. The last time you were at Unity Conference, and they had you on stage and said some good words for you and everything. And I know you've seen some pictures since then of a Unity Conference with over 2,500 young people from all over. How does that make you feel to see that?
Well, I think Unity has been very successful. Mary Kim and Tammy have done a good job, and Marcus Quinn and Chance.
Appreciate it. That was a nice plug. I'll pay you for that one later. Since 1976, Unity has impacted the lives of hundreds of thousands of Native youth. Many are adults now. We know some lead their tribe and council. Some are in the entertainment field, some are in sports, healthy relationships. How does that make you feel?
Well, humble and happy. I'm not surprised.
So you always knew if given the space and the place for their voice that they would excel.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of milestones that, Unity has had over the years. Are there any that stand out to you that you're most proud of?
Well, it's just seeing, as you already mentioned, youth becoming successful in their chosen fields. Medical doctors, tribal leaders. So I think Unity is making a difference.
I remember seeing this picture up in the office forever. Now, people don't know this about me with my hip hop background, but one of my favorite artists of all times happened to be a country boy named Willie Nelson. What did he do and how did that come about?
Well, he did a benefit concert in Norman, Oklahoma, with the proceeds supporting Unity. And that was a highlight.
You remember how much he raised?
About 45,000.
You remember the war on drugs, alcohol abuse?
Yeah, West Judy was. We did a poster that had Lavina Malay.
Now, you know Lavina named one of her babies Unity.
No.
Did you know that?
I didn't know.
She did. She named one of her babies Unity. After all Unity meant to her and helped her change her life and become the trainer and advocate that she is in Indian country, that's how much Unity meant to her. How does that make you feel to know that what you created ended up becoming the name of one of her children?
I didn't know that.
If right there was a Native young person and they just signed up for Unity and they wanted to get involved, what would you tell them?
Be the best they can be. they have something to contribute. I just want to wish everyone involved in Unity a very happy 45th birthday. And
you too, Jake. Jake also wishes you happy 45th.
Then may there be 45 more, at least.
Thank you, Jay.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Here we go.
Hud O'Burley is the creative director for Urban Native Era, UNE, a brand that specializes in clothing design and content to increase visibility of indigenous people. Based out of Los Angeles, Hud's focus with UNE is marketing and clothing design. Through all of his work experience, to increase the representation of modern indigenous people. In his previous work experience, he has navigated through the advising industry and working in many niche sectors, specializing in social media. In addition to his current work woven through his life, he has served Indian country by working for the United National Indian Tribal Youth, or Unity Inc., taking part in programs with National Indian Education Association, NIEA, College Horizons, and Graduate Horizons, and most recently, working for the Sundance Institute Indigenous Program to assist in identifying the developing emerging Indigenous filmmakers and their stories. Hud is also a board member for the American Indian Graduate Center and American Indian Graduate Center Scholars.
Thanks, Scotty. I really appreciate that introduction. I do want to share just a quick message with everyone. I'm very grateful to Unity, to Mary Kim and everyone working behind the scenes. This weekend, especially, I know virtual conferences can be really tough. So I'm just really grateful to everyone for the opportunity to speak this weekend. My name is Hud Oberly. I'm Osage, Caddo, and Comanche. I'm going to repeat some of what Scotty said, but I'm Osage, Caddo, and Comanche. I'm from Norman, Oklahoma. I graduated from the University of Colorado at Boulder with a major in advertising and a minor in business. And now I live in Los Angeles, but I want to congratulate the Earth Ambassadors as well. I appreciated all those videos last night, and it was great to see some Okies doing some good things in Oklahoma. Just a little bit about me. Scotty covered a lot, and I do want to answer y'all's questions. I have the chat set up right here, so please ask any questions y'all want to hear specifically about. I know Scotty might have some follow-up as well. But like Scotty mentioned, my first internship was with Unity, and it was a really special experience. I don't know if JR is on here. I hope he is, and definitely tough to follow him up. But I went to a baking seminar that was hosted by Unity in Oklahoma City, and I ended up being the only one that showed up to the open event. So it was me, JR, and the Bank of America representative just there kind of sitting in a probably like 30 capacity room. And I tried to, be attentive, ask good questions, and take part in these exercises that were made for groups of people. And it was a great experience. It's great to know that Unity's, creating these opportunities for people to have financial literacy. For anyone as a young person, no matter the demographic, that's special, but especially for Native youth. So it was a great experience. And after that, just immediately after the meeting, OKC headquarters, and that opportunity that JR gave me was just something that set the foundation and that's woven out through my career, like some of the places I've worked previously. I went to college, and I had a big ambition to go to a big city, whether it was New York or Los Angeles. But I just really wanted to experience a unique, different way of life that I hadn't experienced before. And I had nothing against my upbringing in Oklahoma. It was great. I loved growing up in Norman. I loved living in a traditional household I lived in. Going to the Osage dances in Osage County, going to powwows, all that. But I really wanted to experience that big city life. So I found an opportunity with Sundance Film Institute's Indigenous program. And I got to move out to Los Angeles, which is where I'm at today, giving a speech. And with Unity, one of the special things that makes this opportunity special is that I got to come to the annual conference that year in 2013 when I was an intern, and that was in Los Angeles. So it's just a full circle experience today, which is great. But with Sundance, it was a great opportunity. I got to hear and just try to support Indigenous filmmakers, whether that was directors, producers, screenwriters. It was a great experience because my job was pretty much to hear these Indigenous individuals' stories, whether that was traditional stories that they'd grown up with, learned from their grandparents that was passed down from generations, or if it was a experience that they had in their own life in today's world. And so it was just a great experience to work with Sundance. I will value that experience for so long. And while I was at Sundance, I was asked to be on the American Indian Graduate Center's board, and that opportunity has been so it's been so valuable. I've learned so much from the people that are on that board. And something that I really advocate for with even my current job with Urban Native Era is that young people have a voice, and young people need to be on these boards and at these tables with these very accomplished figures in Indian country, because we have, a different perspective from someone that's been out of school, just specifically with the Graduate Center. But we have a unique perspective that we can really speak from a heart and from our head and everything. And so that's been a great experience with AIGC. And now currently I'm the creative director at Urban Native Era. And you may know us from our Year on Native Land design. It's one of our signature designs that we have. But working for Urban Native Era is just such a great experience. I came to Urban Native Era also with kind of a happen chance opportunity, similar to Unity, where I ran into J.R. Cook and that flourished. And then meeting Joey Montoya, who's the CEO founder of Urban Native Era, just kind of a happen chance meeting in San Francisco. And eventually he asked me to come on as creative director. And I definitely have to shout out the rest of the team. It's a small team, so it's just me, Joey, Chantel Ricks, Lauren Begay, Matt Hinshaw. We're a small team, but we do a lot. We have a community of over 115,000 on Instagram. And then you add in, I think, 40,000 on Facebook. And it's just a really wide community that we have, very diverse community that we try to support. And through our work, we try to provide the Indigenous perspective on today's happenings, and obviously happening specific to Indian country. So that's what Uni does. You do our signature design, and my role specifically with Urban Native Era as creative director is focused around two areas, which is the fashion, the clothing, and then also the marketing. And so that's one. There's two roles that I take very seriously. With the marketing, it's creating these campaigns that last months, that last weeks on continuously. And then also very hands-on with even Instagram posts. I'm writing the captions, I'm posting the pictures every day at 8:30 and 7:30 Pacific time. So that's kind of a little bit what I do on marketing, on fashion and clothing design. We do a lot of graphic design, we do variations of this design right here. And then in the future, in May and June, if you aren't following us yet, I highly recommend that y'all follow us and check us out. In May and June, we're gonna have some very, very special things in clothing design that no one has seen from us before. So I encourage y'all to check us out. So as you can see, my career is very varied, whether it's film, Unity, Urban Native Era, creative clothing design, marketing, all this crazy stuff. And before I jump into answering some questions, I want to kind of give a quick message, and that's that, with these ambitions that I've had where I'm at today, it took taking risks. It took big ambitions, big dreams. And there was always someone there that supported me. And whether it took, running some ideas by people that didn't think it was possible what I was trying to do. They kept asking me, why would you want to leave Oklahoma and go to Colorado for school? Why would you want to leave Oklahoma and go to Los Angeles? And that's okay that they were asking those questions, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to pursue these big dreams, go after areas that people like me hadn't been before. That's what we strive to do with Urban Native Era too, is go into different areas that people haven't seen an indigenous brand go before. So all these big ideas take support, and that's what I want to share with y'all, that you'll have support just by you watching this conference. You have a youth council, you have your peers, you have a youth council chaperone, you have Unity, you have Mary Kim, you have people like Chance Rush, who's been around the block. No one knows how many times he's been around the block, but he's been around the block a lot of times. I remember him at my Unity conference in 2013. So there's people here to support y'all, and there's so many people that want to hear your big dreams. And there's more people out there that want to support you than people that don't want to support you, or they don't see what you want to do is possible. So I just want to share that. And as a personal anecdote, and I think one of the real messages I want to share is that if someone doesn't believe in what you're trying to do, or your dreams, your ambitions, it's okay. Don't no hard feelings to that person. You go on to the next person, ask them for support, and then the next person if they don't. You just keep going. You can reach out to the people at Unity, go through the line, reach out to me. I love having meaningful conversations in my Instagram DMs. If you want to check me out there, I'm on all the social platforms, usually under Huddleberry Finn. But you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. So reach out to me. I love to have those conversations. Because something I learned is that your individual journey is unique, and there's going to be people that support you up until a certain point. I've had people that supported me in major pivotal moments in my life that took me to an extra level, but then their belief ended as well. So it's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be up and down. So I just ask that you keep believing in your dreams. I know it's cheesy, but believe in your dreams. People like Kylie, who spoke yesterday, people like Pawai, who spoke yesterday, and myself, we want to blaze these trails for you that we're pursuing our dreams, and that you can do it too. I know it's cheesy, but I want to nail that in best I can. So that's what I want to leave you all with. I'm happy to continue this conversation. I know it's a limited time, but please ask your questions in the chat, and I'm happy to answer anything y'all have for me.
Nice to hear from you. And I have
you're sounding a little robotic there, Scotty, but I see a couple of questions. There's one: how do you deal with the creative block? This is an interesting question, because I got asked this recently through our Urban Native Era text platform. But I right now in my creative journey, I guess, I am able to just kind of let things flow. So like when it's time to write a poem for the back of a t-shirt for Urban Native Era, I'm able to almost just kind of sit down, get my head right, and just start writing out. I personally don't do a whole lot of like, some people listen to certain music, start some incense or something like that. But I'm really, I guess, kind of just like a binary, either you do it or you don't type of situation. I don't worry too much about perfectionism in some areas. Sometimes I do, but that's kind of how I face a creative block. I hope I answered that. I'm not sure. How do I stay motivated to continue? Something I learned with Urban Native Era, because I've joined Urban Native Era just about 13 months ago. Something I realized was that it's super easy for me to get out of bed and do what's needed for Urban Native Era. Even when it's been tough with personal things in my life, getting up to do stuff for Urban Native Era is something that is done without extra thought. I don't know if it, I mean, if I think about it, I really think it's me being able to think about our community, even though it's so big. I can think about the purpose of what I'm doing, and it's very. What's great about Urban Native Era is it's very, I guess, centered around an awareness. It's centered around bringing issues to light, whereas other brands that maybe started out as a clothing brand, they tried to incorporate this racial awakening into their business plan, whereas Urban Native Era was built on creating awareness for indigenous movements that weren't getting media attention. That's what Joey Montoya started the brand as in 2012, bringing light to I Don't Know More, which some of you may remember. But that's embedded into the brand, and so that's what makes it special, and I think what people love about Urban Native Era. I don't know if Scott, do you have any questions, or if y'all are good on tech side on your end. Is our company hiring? Not at the moment. I will say we will have some. I'm not 100% sure where in the summer, but I can guarantee some point in the summer there'll be some openings. My inspiration to keep going, similar to what's motivating me, but on an individual level, like I mentioned in my speech, was that I want to go to places where people like me haven't been. I want to feed the ambitions of my 16-year-old self, who didn't have limits on what he wanted to think about or what he dreamt of. So that's what I keep in mind when I'm trying to stay motivated. Audrey asked, how do you balance your own life along with keeping the traditional values and ways? That's a great question. Especially being away from Oklahoma, where all my nations, Osage, Caddo, and Comanche, are located and have their traditional gatherings. It's something I faced going away for college as well, and I know a lot of the audience, the youth, y'all are in these pivotal moments where you're making decisions to leave home maybe or stay home. From my personal experience, going to Colorado, I would always travel back to Oklahoma in the summers for our gatherings, whether that was the Osage dances in June or Comanche homecoming powwow in July. But keeping in close contact with family is something that keeps me, I guess, having those traditional values in mind, because I was just grown up with those traditional values. And, it's not just my mom and dad, it's keeping, calling my grandma, my Eka, and a Darko all the time. So it's just keeping in touch for me that kind of keeps me with those things in my head.
Hi, Todd, can you hear us?
Yes, barely.
Okay, sweet. Sorry, we had some difficulties. I'll ask you a couple of questions before we let you go here.
Okay.
What advice do you have for other Native youth who wish to follow your lead as a creative director in the clothing industry?
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that question. Something I didn't really mention, but when I moved to Urban Native Era, I didn't really have any experience in fashion. It all came from understanding, like, what do I think this community wants? What do I think that they want to see? Hearing from them directly through our DMs and stuff, like, what do they want to see from us? But my advice is to pursue opportunities that set you up to be noticed. And that doesn't mean you have to be noticed by some gatekeeper. It's just that your work, that your artistry is being noticed. You're putting it out there on social media, that you're beading or you're sewing or whatever that piece of clothing design may be, that you're creating content, you're creating photos and videos that let people know that you have this dream, that you want to pursue being a creative director, that you want to have your items or art sold via Urban Native Era or whatever it may be. That people, a lot of people ask me, like, what's one tip to give for me, like where I'm at right now? And the thing that I see most valuable is the ability to communicate. And it's something that I see from different leaders, like different podcasts, different outlets that talk about great values to have in a workplace or whatever it may be. Just communicating clearly, concisely. Something I look back on is like, I tried to pay attention a lot in school, but really a lot of things that I can remember from learning in school, whether it was high school, college, in a workplace, that are just little anecdotes that help me make decisions where I'm at now. Like I can remember that thing that happened when I was working at Sundance, and now I know how to handle this type of situation. Just paying really close attention and attention to detail, to little moments, just being very present. Hope that that answered it.
I think Kira might have a question for you too.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
Why should Native youth get involved in Unity or with youth councils?
Yeah, so like one of the things I see most valuable is the support system. Whenever people, Native youth especially, including myself, when we take steps to follow our dreams and go other places and travel places that we haven't been before, it takes a support system. And I think Unity has that such a stronghold on that, whether, like I mentioned, it's Mary Kim or Juanita or Chance or the various youth councils around the country, the chaperones. It takes a support system. And I look to, when I left to Boulder, I didn't know a soul in Colorado. And there was a wonderful lady, Sue Lentz, who was the Native American student counselor, who was my rock through 4 years of college, that on my lowest times, I went to her and she was able to provide support that no one else in my life could have, because she has a different perspective as supporting me in my education. So what Unity provides is that support system, and having those people to lean on that can keep you uplifted and participating in the right places.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. We can't wait to see your future projects.
Thank you for all the words that you've spoken. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
While you're here, we want to show you MK shirt. It's pretty cool. It was gifted by the Tulalip Tribe Youth Council. And it says, "Get drugs off our roads." And then the back.
In the back.
says straight out of Tulalip. If you can see it, but yeah.
I can't see it right now, but I appreciate you all too for having me. It's been great to speak.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
We are honored to have with us the #1 New York Times bestseller author Angelina Boley, an enrolled member of the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians, is a storyteller who writes about her Ojibwe community.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today at the Unity Midyear Conference. I'm Tiff Lia. I'm a senior editor at Macmillan Children's, and I'm also the very proud editor of Angeline Bully, who is the instant #1 New York Times bestselling author of Firekeeper's Daughter.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here, and I'm so happy that we get to talk about the book with people, with everyone from Unity.
Absolutely. And I think now, that the book has been out for a month, it's especially fun to sort of like look back and talk about the process with this kind of hindsight. But I'd love to hear just a little bit more in your words. Can you tell us a little bit more about Firekeeper's Daughter?
I've said before that it's Indigenous Nancy Drew, but really it's this mystery thriller coming of age story about a biracial Ojibwe girl who's never quite felt like she fit in either in town or on the res. And she witnesses a murder and feels compelled to help with an undercover investigation. And, as Indigenous people, we have a not the best history with federal agencies that are trying to help. And so it quickly becomes apparent to Donis that there are two investigations that are going on. The FBI's, and then hers. And so everything about her makes her the ideal person to be doing this investigation and finding out who's behind this deadly new drug that's harming her community.
So Anton, what was your inspiration for Firekeeper's Daughter? I know you've had a spark for a very long time, and I always love hearing the story.
Well, when I was a senior in high school, so this was, back in the day, one of my friends went to a different high school and told me about a new guy in her classes, and she thought he was my type. And it turned out that he wasn't. He didn't play sports, and I did. And he hung out with the kids that we called stoners. And so at the end of the school year, she told me that there had been a huge drug bust, and that new guy had actually been an undercover officer. And I remembered thinking, what if we'd been in classes together, or what if I met him and we'd liked each other? And then this little spark of an idea was that, what if it wasn't that he liked me, but that he needed my help? And so that was really this idea of, why would some undercover investigation need the help of this ordinary Ojibwe girl? And then, I went away to college. I started working for some different tribal communities after college. And I started to see the teens that I worked with going through some of the similar issues that I had gone through as a teen. And I just thought, wait, okay, what if it was a federal investigation? What if this, what if that? And so really, even though I didn't start writing the story until I was 44, it was in my mind, and it's kind of like little puzzle pieces would fit together of, oh, well, what if she was good in chemistry? What if she was good at this? What if, and then the deeper layers of the story too. Because initially it's supposed to be a thriller, but really at its heart, it's about her claiming her identity and her place in her tribal community. And that is a story with, deeper themes that I felt I could, do justice to.
Absolutely. I think it's such a powerful genre bender. It is a thriller. It has that propulsive pacing, but it's an entry point to all these really deep questions about identity and community, as Donis is sort of navigating all of that. And I love the way you also describe the writing process as sort of, picking up these puzzle pieces, because I think a lot of times people tend to think writing is, sitting in front of your computer, typing, drafting, and that's how you know that you're actually writing. But I'd love to hear just a little bit more about like that puzzle piece gathering process. Like, what was that like? Like, what were some of the puzzle pieces you're pulling together? How did you know, a piece was perfect for your story?
Well, sometimes it would be a song. Sometimes it would be a character that I would see in a movie, and I would think, oh, this would make the perfect, not Donis, because I have not found Donis in my head. I know her voice, but as far as actresses go, I haven't really looked. I just think we're going to know her when we see her. But in the CW series, The 100, the actor Bob Morley, who plays Bellamy Blake, to me, he was like my visual inspiration for Jamie. And so sometimes I would have it feels stalkery, but I would have a picture of him on my screen, and I'd just be like typing away these scenes and listening to this song that I thought of as like Jamie's song. And so there's that is part of the creative process. And then when I would be stuck and kind of in a rut, writer's block, I don't know, I would go on Pinterest and I'd be like, I think this would be the dress that Donis would wear at this event, or this would be, here's a really beautiful birch bark basket, beautiful beaded strawberry earrings. And so I would I felt I was wasting time. It was a time waster and a distraction, but actually it's creative. It's I'm a visual person. And so pulling in these images really helped me because then I would describe the things that I was seeing. And then that would help me get over that writer's block at times. And so I think that creativity can take so many different forms. And I think sometimes I would beat myself up thinking I'm not at my desk, hands are not, on the keyboard, I'm not writing, but I'm creating. And I think that's the part that I had to figure out that is such an important part of this whole process.
I love the way you distinguish that because I think that's so true. And when I was reading, it felt like there's so many textual details. It felt so lived in for that reason, because you were, sort of pulling all these little puzzle pieces together. And I know that when you were sharing photos of like Sault Ste. Marie, where the story is set, I was like, that matches the image in my head perfectly because you had been pulling, all of these details. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was going to say, and then when my book was selected by Reese Witherspoon as her spring young adult pick for her book club, her team had asked our team, does Angeline have a playlist? Does she have, a Pinterest page that maybe we could, do? And it was like, yes, I do. All of those hours that I thought were wasted times. Actually, it was like, yes, I have a fully formed playlist and I can tell you what scenes this is inspired by. So it just was funny that, that creativity was something that they were interested in seeing, kind of the behind the scenes ingredients.
Yes, absolutely. And, I love how you distinguish creating from writing. And I would also distinguish writing from editing and revising. So, we heard a little bit more about your writing process, but what was it like once you actually got into the revision process? Did you find that you had to, exhibit different skill sets? Was it a different perspective? How did that shift feel like?
Yes, it was different because it's a different mindset. When you're writing, you don't want to filter anything because you never know where this thought or this scene, I outline, but it's a loose outline. And then sometimes when I'm sitting there writing, some great idea will come to me and I'll just follow that. I believe that you respect that creativity because it's coming from somewhere beyond you, and you just ride that wave and keep writing and see where it takes you. So there is like no filtering. And then editing, revising is just the opposite. It is looking with a critical eye at the choices that what choices you are making now to shape the story and decide what information needs to not be on the page. It was that I write to preserve my culture and I edit to protect it. And so I made decisions about what would be on the page and what wouldn't be. And so writing about ceremony was something that, I do a fade to black because that information's not meant for outside of my community.
Of the interview on Unity's YouTube channel. By the way, here's her book, Firekeeper's Daughter. You can buy it at your local bookstore, on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. But I'll pass it on to you, William.
All right, let's give a round of applause to our trainers. So we got Robert Johnson of the Choctaw Muskogee Creek Nation.
Woo!
And we got Pearl Yellowman of the Navajo Nation.
Yeah, Pearl!
Chance Rush of the Hidatsa Arapaho Dakota
Woo!
Nations. And lastly, Juanita Toledo of the Hamish Pueblo.
UNITY.
All right, give a round of applause to them.
take a moment this morning to give a round of applause to the Unity Executive Council for doing a great job. This is the second day of the mid-year. To the Unity staff, so thank you and good morning to the Unity staff and to our production crew here. They're doing an awesome job. We had such a fun time last night. We got over some hiccups. But I'm joined this morning with some of the best trainers in Indian country and beyond. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this circle, this Unity circle here, and to be working alongside Robert, Chance, and Juanita. We've grew up together. And I think many of us, when we started Unity, we dedicated our lives to the standards and principles of Unity and carved out a life path for our own. So I'm thankful to be here this morning with our Unity trainers. You'll catch us live in person this summer in Dallas, Texas. So in just a few more months, this is our second virtual mid-year conference. Last year, the Unity staff went right into a first annual virtual conference, and this is our second virtual conference. So very thankful for the resiliency of Unity and Unity organization. Just some quick instructions. If you're out there, and you're joining us with a fresh cup of coffee, or you're just now logging in, or you're with your youth council this morning, good morning to our many viewers out there. We've had some awesome speakers this morning. Maybe some of you have already got to the east several miles and you're coming back, and now you're joining us for the rest of the day. But on the bottom of your screen, you will have some options as to the rooms to go in for these breakout sessions. And that's at the bottom of your screen. There'll be some prompts to show you how to go into the breakout session with Robert. Robert, you want to wave your hand? Robert? Okay. Robert, you'll have a breakout session with Chance Rush. Chance. And then you'll have a breakout session with Miss Juanita Toledo, our Unity sister. So many of you know our trainers. On the bottom, you'll go to your breakout session. And we'll see you soon. After we have time with our Unity trainers, you'll come back to the main conference room. So back to you all.
Right. Yes, thank you, Pearl. So thank you everybody for joining us today and celebrating 45 years of Unity. Thank you for all the speakers.
Right now?
You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're tuned in and you're here with us, and we thank you for your time so much. I don't know about y'all, but I've got a lot of energy that needs to be shaken up, that needs to be moved. So if you can, get up, sit up. Let's just move our shoulders a little bit. Get those shoulders moving. Come on, Chance. Come on, Robert. Come on, Pearl. Move with me. Move with me. Yo. Okay, let's take a couple of deep breaths. Something that's been helping me throughout this time, it's called the emotional freedom technique. And all it is just tapping on these points that just send soothing vibes, soothing energy. So let's just gently tap our heads, tapping our chests. Okay, I'd like for us to do a little bit of affirmations. So if you could turn on your camera, I'd like to see your face. All right, so just repeat after me. I am.
I am.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am blessed.
I am blessed.
Yes. One more time with more feeling. Come on. I am. I'm strong.
I am strong.
I am blessed.
I am blessed.
And I'm healthy.
I am blessed. And I am healthy.
Yes. Thank you so much. Much love, much appreciation. I'm going to pass it over to my brother Robert, joining us from Arizona. Quick shout out to everyone joining us from Walatoa, Pueblo Country. Much love. Thank you. Robert,
All
what
right.
you got for us?
Hey, you know what? Let's just do some unity medicine right now. And unity medicine is this. When you come to unity, yeah, it's good to see us trainers, but you come here to see each other. So turn your cameras on. Let's get them on. Let's see who's out there. Hi, Audrey. Everyone look at Audrey. Nikki, welcome. Awesome. Look at some of these faces we haven't seen in a while, right? Look at
Yes.
everybody. That is great. Allison.
Beautiful.
Yes, we got Allison here. Let's get those cameras on. Let's go.
You
Get
know,
those. I don't care
Shout
if
out
you
in
got
the
COVID
text
hair.
where you're calling from. Shout out in
And
the
just
text where
remember,
you're calling from.
and remember that we are going into our breakout sessions where you'll have one-on-one time with your Unity trainers.
Hi,
We
Hey,
provided
how's
some
it going?
instructions
Hey,
earlier.
Todd.
All
Chance, do you
right.
have a quick shout out to the group before we break out to our work session? You're all good? Okay, so there's a breakout session with Robert, Chance, Juanita. We're all like the Brady Bunch kids right here. So go into your breakout sessions and we'll see you in 2 seconds.
Good job, HUD. Good job, Angeline.
Unity and then meet kids from all over the place. We found out that, you know, a lot of the stuff that we go through in New York or on our tribe, it's the same things that happen everywhere else.
But that first conference had a big impact on my life, whether it was to be a Native leader, a young person at that time, and the impact it had on my life to this very day.
So the beauty of what we experienced back then continues today in our own lives.
It's just like a million moments that we have in unity with our family, and that's what makes up all of it, you know, and the combination of all of that just brings together like an indescribable feeling that it's like you got to be there to see it, to feel it, to hear it, to, you know.
Unity means growth to me.
Unity means strength, empowerment.
Is motivation. If I had to put in one word, it's motivating to do anything in the world. It gives you that of our people, our heritage, our love for our communities.
For us, it meant healing.
Allow Native youth to share their vision and to create a vision.
Unity gave me the opportunity to be myself consistently.
It was always unity that gave me spark to move forward in my life and to continue with the goals that I identified.
It taught me to don't never lose your language, your heritage.
Unity has given me the ability and some of the training that I implement in my day-to-day life right now as a tribal trustee.
I think I could honestly for surely say I wouldn't be who I am or what I do without unity.
it's a lifetime worth of memories, a lifetime worth of family that I made through the organization.
That's how much unity meant to me and means to me. I love unity. I love all of my family from unity.
So my advice would be take it all in, don't limit yourself, talk to everybody, get to know everybody.
Hey, you're gonna have a good time. You know, you're gonna meet a lot of people.
Step out your comfort zone.
You're gonna be nervous, and that's fine. You know, you're gonna be shy, that's fine. But everybody here feels the same way as you.
And really take it in and make sure when you go in, you want to know what you want to get out of it. Because what you think you're going to get out of it, you get that times 10.
But the important thing too is that even though you go to Unity, is to bring that knowledge back and share it with your community. And
I think if there wasn't an organization like Unity, who knows where I'd be today. I could have went in any direction, but this is the direction I chose.
The Earth Ambassador Program promotes environmental stewardship. Established in the 1990s, it engages Native youth in training sessions and informational workshops to increase their knowledge of environmental issues facing what we call Mother Earth. Unity Earth Ambassadors will develop action plans designed to help protect and conserve natural resources by using methods that produce results respectful of tribal cultures.
Hello, my name is Loretta Toole, and I'm a citizen of the Nez Perce tribe from Lapwai, Idaho. Currently, I'm serving as the chairman of the Council of Trustees for United National Indian Tribal Youth, also known as Unity. Today, we're very excited to announce the selection of 10 Unity Earth Ambassadors. They will advocate for the protection of our environment and encourage others to do the same. The preservation of Mother Earth is one of our top priorities. We know they will do a great job. It is my pleasure to introduce them.
Anuwa kumagantig, ntutamtig, wapanatag sigasun, asni watitsikutinia, nianan sang nitatupunan, egwa, tabahan nishle, chupakri bashishchin, bit atni dashiche, chupakri dashinele. Hello, everybody. My name is Watson Woodford. I come from the Chippewa tribe and the Utah part of the Navajo Nation. I am 15 years old and I currently reside in the Rocky River Reservation in Montana. I also attend the Navajo Preparatory School in Farmington, New Mexico online. I am a part of the Natani Youth Council, and I just wanted to say I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and I'm also very excited. Thank you.
Dagote, my name is Lauren Shelley Pina. I come to you from the San Carlos Apache tribe located in San Carlos, Arizona. I'm currently a student at Penn State University and a member of the San Carlos Apache Tribe Youth Council. I'm looking forward to this great opportunity.
Beit Tame Tade, Carlin Sotai, Akan, Goito Kuro Ada, Ainha Akido, Edmond, Oklahoma. Hello, everybody. My name is Carlin Sotai. I'm Kiowa and I'm from Edmond, Oklahoma. I attend Edmond Memorial High School and I'm excited to be an Earth Ambassador for Unity in 2021. Aho, Soha.
My name is Leandra Jean. I am a Navajo from Blue Cup, Arizona. I'm a senior at Winslow High School. I'm part of the Winslow Residential Hall Youth Council, and I will be attending Northern Arizona University in the fall. Thank you.
Dagota, she's Steve Harvey Gunsat, Nichols Daisada, Shlagota, freshman Bishka, Eastern Arizona College, Parada, Yugunschling. Hello everyone, my name is Steve Harvey. I am currently 19 years old. I am a freshman and I attend Eastern Arizona College. I reside in the Peridot districts in the Great Lands of the San Carlos Apache tribe. And I'm excited and thrilled for this new opportunity and I can't wait for what the future has in stakes for us. Thank you.
Halito, I'm Gabrielle Nakai, Choctaw born for Kia Ani. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm a freshman at Arcadia High School, which is in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and I'm excited to start. Thank you.
My name is Tyler Tom. I am Navajo from White Valley, Arizona. I am part of the Navajo Nation Youth Advisory Council. Thank you all for this opportunity. Stay safe and mask up.
Hello, good day, everybody. My name is Maya Martinez. I'm from the Spokane tribe in Washington State. I'm going to school at Fort Lewis College, studying molecular biology with a minor in psychology, and I'm a part of the Northwest Portland Area Indian Health Board and the Spokane Tribal Youth Council.
Yeah, my name is Candice Joe. I am a member of the Navajo Nation. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm currently a student at SJMon Community College, majoring in communications. I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited to work with other Native youth as well as connect with them and to better our communities. I think it's important to highlight our environmental issues as well as spread awareness about Indigenous sovereignty and what that means to our Native communities. And thank you.
Yat Eshe Benahajani Daisy Haradinisha, the net Ike Nishla, Hothana Nishla, Tohe Gwini Bushichin, Ashihan Dashiche, Nanist Edine Dashanale, your top with Hahodzo, Seth Nazi, your so Biade Nasha, Northwest High School de Inishta, Nahast Ehigi Inishta, Unity Earth Ambassador Nashik Tinigi, Bashil Hojo, Akehe. Hello, my name is Benahajani Daisy Howard. I am Navajo and Zuni. I am from the Navajo Nation in New Mexico. I'm from a place called Sanasti in an area called Big Bell. I am a student at Northwest High School and I am in 9th grade. I am excited for this opportunity to be a leader for the Unity Earth Ambassador team. I am motivated to be a voice for Mother Earth. Nahastan, thank you.
Okay, good morning again. And if you're just now joining us, we're asking you to go into your breakout rooms. The breakout rooms, if you want to know, is at the bottom of your screen, right between reactions and record. Not record, but breakout room. So make sure you go into your breakout rooms where y'all spend some time with our Unity trainers, our awesome Unity trainers. And I am just enjoying all the videos. So if you know someone in those videos, give them a shout out. If you want to know more about those videos or how to become an Earth Ambassador, go onto the Unity website and look up those applications. So again, we're going into our breakout session. Breakout session on the bottom of your screen would be on the right side of your screen. And if it's not on the other side, it's on the right side.
And if you don't see your breakout session or the breakout room button, you might have to update your Zoom app. Okay.
Okay, good job. Y'all, that was great instructions. They're excellent instructions.
Okay. Where are they?
quick introduction.
Hi, my name is Regina Alvarez. I'm from the Quechan Indian tribe in Port Yuma, Arizona, where we border Arizona and California. So we're a little bit in California also. I work at the local school district at San Pascual Unified School District. I'm their district community liaison. I've been there for 11 years. Prior to that, I did work for my tribe as the parenting director for them. We have attended Unity in the past. We just started the last 3 years. We have a new school superintendent, and I just spoke to her last week about us continuing because it was so good and so positive for our kids. For me, 3 years ago or 4 years ago was the first time I attended Unity in Denver, and I was blown away. I thought it was so awesome. I could not believe it. You feel such pride when you are surrounded by so many natives and so many youth that are so positive. You know, I sent this link out to my niece, to my nephews, and I'm like, please listen for a little bit. You'll be so motivated because it's so positive, you know? And I liked in the beginning where they said it's a support system. I really feel that it is. When you start to feel down, when these kids, you know, start to, I guess, like second guess themselves and stuff, they have all this positive youth around them to say, yeah, we've been there, you know, but you can keep going. I love that. Yeah. And then I selected this mental health because of everything we've gone through this last year. You know, I just want to find some resources in some ways to start healing, because I keep telling everyone this should be the healing year now. We've gone through a lot. We need to find ways to heal so we can keep moving forward.
Very true. Very true. How many students did you take to Denver?
We took 9. We took 9, and then we took 8 to Florida, and we took 8 to San Diego.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Did you, by any chance, get to check out the advisor training?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we went through all of those. Yeah.
Okay.
It was me and another
Maybe
coworker.
we met there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. And I think just because of the sensitivity of overcoming and recovering from the pandemic, we really have to take a step back and look at what we experienced last year. And so I'll turn the time over to our female co-president. Yesterday we already started these discussions, but I just want to set the tone with part of Unity is to help young people and all people, even myself, adults, understand the importance of good, healthy mental health, spiritual, physical, and emotional. And even right behind me, you can see our logo here that touches upon all of these elements. So sometimes some of our young kids might not really understand the foundation that's already within Unity, or even among their own people or their and then how we might be able to tap into other resources. If Unity is new for them, then Unity could be a support system. If they're just coming into Unity and wanting to know what Unity is about, it's really a great opportunity for making some connections, healthy connections. So I just want to put that in that context before we go into what we experienced last year. And then keeping in mind that maybe some of our teachings, our ancestral teachings, is what helped us get through last year. And sometimes young kids don't realize or maybe understand how to articulate that. So that's why we're very fortunate to have our female co-president to kind of share her story with what she experienced last year. And then we'll go into our circle of our participants here. Our time here is just under 30 minutes that we have. And then because of the nature of this topic, we want to make sure that everyone leaves the breakout room comfortable and not too much weighing on anyone when we exit here. So I'll turn the time over and share and ask maybe what you experienced last year. What were some of the tools or resources that you really drew from? What was your source of strength? And really kind of help us understand the highs and lows of last year, and then your sources of strength to get out and moving on. So I'll turn the time over to our female co-president.
Yeah, so the start of 2020, it was rough. I had to move out of my dorm in a day. I moved to online school so quickly. I had to get used to online school. And for me, I'm not really a person who likes to be virtual. I'm more of a interactive, like face-to-face, face-to-face person. So that was really tough for me. And at that time, I was able to move back home and be with my family during a couple of months, which was really great. And I was happy I was just with them during that time, during the pandemic. And in my community, a lot of people caught COVID, and some of our close family members actually tested positive in the beginning. And my auntie, which is my next door neighbor, she actually caught COVID, and we were really worried about her. But she just stayed at home and isolated from herself, but we would drop off food for her and anything that she needed, just drop them off like by her door so she'd be able to get them. But I moved to Albuquerque, which was probably the worst place to be during a pandemic because the numbers were so high there, and so many kids my age were testing positive for COVID. And so it just got me really worried. And practically during that time, I just stayed home. And I became a bit depressed because I wasn't able to go home. I just stayed in my room, watched movies, and didn't move from my bed. I hardly ate. I remember some nights I didn't even sleep. And when I did, it was only for 2 to 4 hours, or just staying up for like long periods of time, 2-3 days, like just not sleeping and just not giving my body what it needs. And so that was a down for me in 2020. And at times I just feel like I did need to just cry, but I don't know, like I just don't like crying. But I've learned that sometimes like it is okay to cry, and like it's an emotion like that we just need to acknowledge, and that it is okay to cry, especially during the pandemic. But what really helped was that I moved in with a group of my friends, and each one of them were really supportive and just they're really worried about me. And we're all Pueblo natives. And so just having that Pueblo connection and knowledge, it's really helped because we shared traditional foods, and we would always cook together and share stories, songs, share dances, and we'll just be dancing in our living room. And I think that's what really helped me, was just having that support system from one of my great friends, a great group of friends. And I think after my winter break, I came back into 2021 feeling a lot better. I actually started painting, and I've improved. But I want to start painting again and just learning how to do pottery. And one of my great friends knows how to bead, so she's teaching me how to bead earrings. And so 2021. Opportunity.
If you're just now joining us, you're joining the mental health discussion during the pandemic here. This is the work session we're in. We do have some new members joining this work session. And now's your opportunity to ask questions. We'd like to get to those questions. But if you do feel at any point in time that you may have experienced some form of sadness or some form that felt different outside of your regular active life, you just might want to share that with someone you feel very comfortable
and someone you feel safe with. If you have a youth advisor or an adult, a family member, or an extended family member that you feel safe with, and you feel that it's okay to share that with them, I ask that you think about how you could do that. Or you have a friend circle that you belong to, and you know that what we've experienced last year, I think just listening to Kara and her story, that these things are real, and they are real emotions. It can feel heavy. And if you're an active person and all of a sudden you feel a sense of heaviness, and it's a real thing. So I encourage you to seek a safe space to share that information with a youth advisor or a circle. As she's mentioning, she has friends that she can share that with. And so I just ask you that if you have any questions, you can put that in the chat box. And we're also kind of talking about what we experienced and witnessed last year of this global pandemic that just touched many lives and impacted many communities. But what we utilized and what we leaned on to help get us out, whether that was a mental, physical, or spiritual heaviness, what were our sources of strength to help us come out of that? I do see some familiar faces on our screen joining us. I'm going to turn to my brother here, my younger brother here, Jared. Jared, in the chat, or things are so magic these days. I'm sure you can talk to us right now. But Jared, what got you through last year? What are one of the top 3 things that help you get through the pandemic? I know you're, the community that you come from, very similar to my community. Mm-hmm. We had some tough restrictions, and we saw a lot and we witnessed a lot. So Jared, if you're listening, let us know how you got through last year. I see another familiar name, Jason. Jason, what can you share with us? How did you get through watching and observing what maybe your family or community went through, and how you sought out support or maybe even provided relief? Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of our Valley friends here provide relief to their own community back home. Jason, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was, one of the things I had to do for myself mentally, honestly, because I think I was one of those people that thought it was going to be over in a couple weeks. March came along, and then we had a meeting in our office and we were talking about, restrictions and things closing up. And, one of the employees asked me, well, how long do you think it's going to be? And I said, probably at least a couple weeks. And everybody kind of freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, 2 weeks? Little did we know. But honestly, the transition initially seemed to be okay, but then when there was no end in sight, I think that's when I really had to take a step back and understand, especially because I have a family, how do I communicate this to my little ones? How do I be supportive of my family who, my mother, who's a senior, and my grandmother, worried about all the family, but really it all comes back to me first. You got to take care of yourself. And so what I did was I started taking morning walks. I really took advantage of the extra time that I had. So I started doing some more reading, little things that I like to do that I always said, I wish I had more time to read. I wish I had more time to, spend with my kids. I wish I had more time. All of a sudden I had the time. So I made the most out of it. Yes, there were days when it felt like, this is never ending. And it really, especially and I feel for people that are in an isolated situation, I try to reach out as much as possible to individuals. I try to stay connected through Zoom. I mean, I can't tell you, like probably most of you, how many Zoom calls have you done in the last year? But try to find ways to stay connected. There were some nonprofit organizations in town that were doing drives for water and PPP supplies and that sort of thing. So I found ways to get involved with some of those organizations to feel like I was doing something to help. So, but I knew, bottom line, it had to start with me and myself. I had to make sure that I was taking care of myself, before I could help and take care of others. And I think that's true in any situation, and especially when you're going through something that's extremely stressful. And being able to just be honest with people and share, your fears and share your concerns. And, and like most of us in Indian country, no matter what tribal background you have, humor is a big thing, and just being able to joke around about it. We made I don't know how many, jokes we made, and just try to make each other laugh through the seriousness of it. But just try to stay connected is really kind of, was part of the process as well.
Very true. Very true. Thank you, Jason. And thank you for just keeping many organizations connected. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat box. Jared, can we hear from you? Good to see you.
Hey, Pearl, it's good to see you. I'm sorry I'm not at the office. I'm injured, so I'm limited to my bedroom. But, a lot of what Jason said, it's true. For myself personally, because I, grew up in my community and I'm very well connected in my small community, I took it really hard trying not being able to go home and adhering to the restrictions put in place by our tribal leaders. So I think for the most part, I think respecting the decision of my tribal leaders was kind of an area where I needed growth, and that growth came during the pandemic. And staying away, like my tribal leaders said, is exactly what I did. So keeping my elders and my family safe in that way was kind of how I experienced a new sense of growth. And I also experienced on that same level of understanding leaders and that position that they hold is grace and mercy, and having that grace for them as tribal leaders, that they're overseeing all these people. So it made me very understanding that they're doing the best they could. And that's something that I always struggled with as a young person who's very vocal about tribal leaders in my community specifically. And so instead of criticizing their decisions, I was just praying for them and respecting the decisions. So that's something that I learned and helped with. And so I guess the second part of that is when I was, so our restrictions were a little interesting. And, every winter I take blankets to elders in my community. So I know where every elder lives. And so when it was safe to go home, I did a second round of visits and I dropped off water to all those elders because I knew where they lived. And so that second round of visits, it was disheartening personally. And I cried. Like, it was such a heavy feeling that day. Excuse me, sorry, I don't get emotional, but a lot of the elders, they were crying to me and like asking why no one had brought them water. And so, as a young person, I was like, man, like, here I am in the valley, like just sustaining myself every day, but my elders don't have water. And so it made me do a second visit. And, these visits were very secretive because I didn't want anyone to, blame me if their relative, caught COVID or anything like that. But it really, showed me to do things quietly, especially giving back to your community and doing it without people knowing. It means a lot more. And so that's something I really, that has stuck with me and has, I guess, shaped the course of handling this pandemic, of putting my elders before me. There were times, of course, where mentally it was difficult, especially that drive back to Phoenix after dropping off all those waters was, just thinking of are they going to have enough water for next week? I have water in my apartment, enough for me, but they don't. And so, just checking on family. And that's one of the things I end up stressing to my leadership after was that importance of checking on these elders. And a lot of times they didn't know that the lockdowns had ended, that they didn't know that restrictions were lifted. So I end up being that person of giving that message to all these elders that the lockdown ended, you can go and get groceries. And so it really put things into perspective for me. But, what helped me was, again, friends and, on the more fun side, we would do bingos on Instagram, like all these powwow kids from across the United States. We do bingos at like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. And we would raffle off like money. We would Venmo people money, Zelle people money that won our bingo. And it even went to the point where we were giving away beadwork and powwow regalia. Like, that's how intense these games began. And every youth from across the United States and Canada, and no one knew about it because it was like at 2 a.m. in the mornings. And so, I did a lot of sewing and I gave away some, ribbon skirts. And so that was one way that a lot of us connected, powwow kids that do the circuit. And we still are connected today. And we don't do bingo anymore, but we're still connected. So those are 3 ways that I got through the pandemic.
Very awesome. Jared, I'm going to borrow grace and humility. Did you say grace and humility?
Grace and
our
mercy.
Leaders? Grace and mercy. Very true. And we have to honor what the decisions our leaders make and the process that they arrive to those decisions. I like that. Thank you. If you're just not joining us, we do see some members joining the breakout session here. We have a few minutes left if anyone wants to just speak on what our female co-president has shared here. Jason and Jared, we'll turn the floor over to you all just if you have questions or a story you want to share, or some of the strengths that helped you get through the pandemic last year. You can share with us through audio or through the chat. And we have a couple of new members here that have joined. Do you have any comments and feedback for Jason and Jared?
Jared, it's nice to see you, even though it's through Zoom.
I know, I'm like, really good.
I know, really good. I think the last time I saw Jared was when he visited New Mexico, and we attended a youth council meeting together in one of the pueblos in New Mexico. I think that was one of the last times I saw him, and we ate good before the pandemic together. You're like, I'm just missing the oven bread and the stew. But I think your story, just like going to elders and just listening to what they said, I just hearing that, like, it hurt me. Like, I know some, like, in my community, I saw we had few food distributions, but it wasn't enough, I feel. But because there was so much happening, like so many families weren't able to go out because they had to take care of their grandma or their mom, and it's taking care of their elders, so they weren't able to go out and just leave their elders at home. And so I think that you just taking food and supplies, water over to them just really helps them. And yeah, oh, okay.
Yes. Again, if you're just joining us, we're going to start to wrap up here. In a few minutes here, the topic was mental health and what that meant to us, or some of the sources of strength we leaned on and utilized to get through the pandemic last year. We'll be wrapping up here in a few more minutes. Again, if you or you know anyone who experienced any type of hardship or grief during the pandemic, to try to reach out and find that safe space or that safe individual to share any thoughts or feelings you may have. It may be someone that you already have, a support system within your family or extended family, or your youth advisor, or maybe somebody that you might want to reach out to here at the Unity office, and members of the executive committee are certainly here available to help and maybe provide a connection for you in your community. So we just want to make sure that we offer that. And if you're tuning in or you want to offer some comments to the conversation, now's that time to do that. Or if you want to introduce yourself, you're more than welcome to join us through turning on your screen or your audio. You can go ahead and introduce yourself if you're joining us.
Or in the chat as well. Yes. 5 minutes? Like 2 or 3. Oh, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, Fran, we'll ask you. Okay, thank you. We do have a comment here appreciating the stories that were shared and sending love to everyone here in the room. So, and that's what Unity is about. Unity is about sharing stories and connecting. And I think what helped me get out of my shell of being a shy young person to my first Unity conference is not realizing that the youth throughout the country were going through something I was going through. And to be honest, I just didn't have that global thinking. I really didn't know what other tribes were going through or what they've experienced. And now through Unity, I've been able to connect with so many people because of our stories. We're so much more alike than we are different, respectfully, but our individual cultural uniqueness also is something that we celebrate, but in many ways, we're all very alike. So, and Dina, did you want to add anything to the topic before we close here?
No, I was just looking for more resources and help and advice, just so that when I do go back to work, then I can share this. And so that the kids know, like you're saying, like they weren't alone. There's similar stories, you know, and there is support. There are resources out there. I'm just always looking for other, you know, lifesavers that I can give to these kids.
And I'm glad you brought that up because as the group of trainers come together planning for the Midyear, number one was how can we use some of the technology that we have to create these spaces? So I'm not sure if you can host some evening talking circles, similar to what Jared was saying, at the youth this time, if that's when they're up and operating. But
I do the positive Indian parenting. So a lot of that, you know, we kind of went away from the curriculum and just had the circle and venting, you know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know there are some resources that can be found on the Unity website as well. And that's very helpful to know. I think for the national conference, I certainly can do a better job in gathering more resources for the advisors and the advisor training. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, that's where other advisors bring their resources and share those resources on a resource table. So that's good. That's a good reminder. Adina, thank you.
Thank you too.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone that joined us today. And we really had a great discussion in hearing everyone's stories. And yeah, just take care of yourself. Whether that be like doing crafts, going out, walking, exercise, being around a good group of people with positive vibes, or just talking on the phone with the family member, catching up. Just doing those things will help you like just feel better in the sense.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
Drink some water.
Yeah.
Drink water, less coffee.
Coffee. Unless you need to wake up.
That's me. Everything I say is everything I'm trying to do. We're wrapping up here. We're just going to close in a quick prayer. So Creator, we ask all those who are in this room to stay blessed.
Scottsdale, Arizona, Midyear Conference, yo!
College graduate, catting catalyst, rapping res boy, a college panelist, riding wild beats, trunks are rattling, my demons battling, you've been a fan of this, red road runner, red boy wonder, lyrics like lightning, heart like thunder. thunder, hot like summer, cool like fall. Music spread from reds to reds like ball. Raised on commodities, made me a prodigy. America on the colonies can't abolish me. A hips and a headdress still ain't as hot as me. Seventh generation living, breathing prophecy. Hear my ancestors from the other side. Hear my ancestors every time I rhyme. Feel my ancestors every time I move. Rosebud boy, time for me to bloom. Speak my truth, got flows galore. Tore the roof off when they closed the door. Proud of my home and it shows for sure. Everybody as one, help me raise it more, yeah. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. Toss me the mic, I'm a beast when I'm on the stage. Out the cage, MC rockin' double braids. Let them sway, my music bang. Remember back on the res, on the chords when we used to hang. We ain't have a lot, but you had my back. That's why I roast with rap when I rap. Like coke, that soldier, really told you, boy. Flow is colder now, we taking over, boy. So many times I almost quit and put the mic down. So many rhymes I gotta spit to get the right sound. White America keep telling me to pipe down. They tight wound for standing up on my ground. Settlers be peddlers of the white lies. Blue bloods be lost souls in disguise. Your red bands was paid for with red skins. Your safe life was paid for with my rights. But I'm here to let the world know now. Ancestors live through our flow now. Never slow down, came a long way. Said I'll never change, what the song say? From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. From the city to the res, make it hot, boy. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me. There ain't nothing out here that's gonna stop me.
You make your ancestors proud.
Hey everyone, welcome back in. We have our reps with us to do some closing remarks. If Isaiah wants to start.
Isaiah? Hello everyone. Fahayam Tilakam, Nikanim Isaiah Fisher, Nikam Flight Cuba Grand Round, Oregon. Hello everyone, I'm Isaiah Fisher. I'm here as a Northwest rep. I come from Grand Round, Oregon. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining us today and joining us yesterday. It was really awesome to get to kind of chat with all of you guys. Yesterday we kind of had a few bugs. Want to thank you guys for sticking with us. But overall, thanks for joining. I had a pleasure of talking to each and every one of you guys. William?
Kwanganao Humano, LOMC Will. Hello everyone, greetings. My name is Will Mosley. I'm the Vice President and your Northeast representative. Like Isaiah was saying over here, I had a really fun time and I hope you had a fun time too, hanging out with us in our virtual conference for the past 2 days. So yeah.
All right. Jeed Gutatcha Elijah Landon. Hello guys, I'm Elijah Landon. I'm your Great Plains representative. I had fun. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun. Even with the few hiccups we had, my highlight of the whole thing was probably doing the tootie tot with Will. That was fun. Yeah, like they said already, I just want to thank you guys for showing up, being here, supporting us. I loved the breakout conversations we all had. It was very beneficial for everyone. It was a great time. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiera Toya. I'm from Jemez Pueblo, New Mexico. I'm serving as your female president. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in yesterday and today. I really appreciated all the speakers and everyone that was able to join us. My favorite part of this whole thing was just everything. I loved being by Scotty's side, introducing everyone, and even through the youth to youth connections. I think it was just something that we really needed, just to see each other and just to have that unity vibe. I think that's what we really miss here. But just a reminder that to register, if you haven't, for the 2021 National Unity Conference, which will be July 2nd through the 6th in Dallas, Texas. So we're going to have limited seating for 1,000. So make sure you register, and also to reserve your hotel rooms as well, because I know those will go fast. So anything else, Scotty?
And there's some more reminders for the rest of the day. Just a reminder for your youth council rep, please register and be on the business meeting at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. Don't forget to apply for the Golden Cook Scholarship and our Unity Awards for Alumni and Youth Council of the Year. And after this concludes, you'll be getting emailed a survey on the Midyear Conference. And don't forget to email us any topics you might want to see at Nationals. I've had so much fun. Thank you guys for being here through all of it. Don't forget to wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, all those good COVID protocols. Thank you so much for being here.
And also, if you have any photos of your youth council or just throughout the Midyear Conference, please send them to headquarters at unityinc.org.
And you might be mailed back a prize, so don't forget.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you in Dallas.
Bye.